Morning. Well, it's morning for me at least. How y'all doing? Hmm. Morning coffee. So good. It's nothing like the present, right? So, without further ado. Are we? Where are we? Do those things. I do have a plan. Well, I'm not sure if it's the most important part I should do focus on right now. But start off with some few simple ones, I think. Yep, that makes sense. Simple ones. I say it's simple. So, yesterday, one of the things I did was that I animated these beams going across my level. Kind of like, God, I don't know the exact term for it. I've called them lathes, lathe movements. That's not how they move on one axis, or there's two of them, so they move on two axes. One fixed to one axis, the other one fixed to the opposite axis. In this case, the X and Y. Question is, do I need them to be separated like this? Do I need them in two statements? Chances are I could just... Chances are. There's an option. One option would be to... I can move these lines, which are exactly the same as the one down here, into a... Well, they are going to function. They are. But I could have two functions. One that controls when we're targeting the player, and one that controls when we're targeting... No. Let's slow down a bit. I don't need that. No, I need one function. I can have it in two places. I can take the input from new axis location, or new location. think it sounds good. I will likely go with the linear motion. Yep, let's go with that. XY linear motion. Update. What was it? I need it to be to accept the vector, right? It should be in const vector in. I'm definitely going to reference it, the stored information, right? So what do I need? I need location. Right. Do I like the idea of using? I mean, not really, right? I don't want to this part. So what I don't want to is to have these hard coded function. I don't. Personally, I feel like that would be poor programming standards, right? Yeah. So let's go with x-axis location and y-axis location. In is good. And the in location, I need to update. Let's go with const f vector. These names will likely be a lot better. There we go. Okay. Next will be then we're back to that. Might overcomplicated this. The direction I'm going for or in right now is that these lines will end up in a function. That's it. Yeah, makes no sense. Why am I doing this? Can I do this a different way? I don't like the idea of pushing like a global thing, like probably not named. The proper term is probably not global, right? But don't like having these types of things inside a function if I can avoid it. So in the end, this might just be as is. I seem to have misplaced my water soot. Give me like 10 seconds and I'll be right back. I'm back. Took more than 10 because refill on coffee. Important stuff. Perhaps more important when you're Swede. Need our coffee. Prices. Oh, prices right now. Anyway, I can live with it, but what I can't live with is the idea of not at least doing something with this part. So is this like a deal breaker for me? Like, do I absolutely need this fixed? No. The answer to that is absolutely no. I do like it to be less cluttered, but at the same time, this is part of the I set icon location towards target function. That's not going to be tick at all. Oh, alright. Oh. Updated anything. I'm such a professional. Mm-hmm. Amazing stuff. Amazing. There we go. Oh, where were we? All right. So a decision needs to be made, and I'm going with the fact that I'm going with the decision to leave it as is. And I'm open to all to suggestions at this point. I don't think anyone will actually feel the need to complain or give feedback on this part because it's just this minor stuff. But hey, I'm here to learn also, so please. All right. With that done, what's happening? Awesome, 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 awesome. Need. What I don't have right now is actually a way to validate if that is actually needed. I am going to do this. If Enough. Go with it is not. All right. Let's try it out. I'm not even sure if that's going. Let's just try. I'm just going to do this part. Just want to see if it works. I mean, I know the else part works. Not sure about the text to the log part. It's not complaining. So with that, I assume we're on dry land with that one, but we'll see. So once I'm done with this, I'd like to look at separating the spline from the eye components. So what happens is that nothing happens. Perfect. So it works. Need to do that. That's one logic, that's another. Same. Check. I need you. Actually, will do this. That's hard-coded. Likely need to update one day. No, this is actually going to be removed at some point. So the idea I have is, so I've been working with a point light rather than a spotlight with the eye, which I can kind of show. And that is, I have this big, for now, really rough eye mechanic up in the roof or in the sky, whatever you want to call it. And it's pointing down, but previously what I did was pointing from a position further away from the player and had a slight rotation down towards the player. And the issue with that was that when it hit other objects, those objects tend to block the sight for the eye to the player. So I couldn't really get the collision or the sweep logic to find the player. So the player is really easily hidden. And that was even before I made this compact version of the game level. Previously the level was a lot more open, and it had pillars that separated the pillars that the player could hide behind. I think it was like 800 units between each, so it's a decent amount. That the player could run around with it, like around and hide behind to get to the other side or to the objective. I didn't have really a proper objective at that point, but the idea I had in my mind was to move from one side to another, find a specific object, and end the game. That was the point. And while also eluding and avoiding the eyes, like gaze, right? Only active. The eye was only actually active when you used your light source. Now it's kind of active all the time, though it doesn't detect the player if it just gets near. It only detects if one of these, what I call seers. Ignore my naming convention. Terrible. But these statues detects the player, right? Oh, wrong way. Never mind. So they detect the player and tells the eye, oh, hey, over here. The idiot is over here. It needs refinements, a lot of it. I think the main idea of working with that and having a resource, in this case sanity, to determine whether or not you've lost the game. I think it's fun. But right now it's not dynamic enough, it's not really interesting enough, but I think there's potential in it. Well, I wouldn't make the game if I didn't. The only reason I would still make the game is to learn. And that's the big reason why I do this, just to learn coding more than anything. But I'm not expecting this to be like a Five Nights at Freddy's success. Definitely not. I wonder, does anyone go into like a project expecting that to happen? Likely not, right? Where were we? Right, the spline. So this spline on the floor right now is connected to blueprint for these mechanics, the eye and the beams, whatever you want to call them. I call the entire blueprint the Emperor's Gaze. An old name, old theme. I will likely separate those two. So I have a PathTrace spline, because I have a small object or small debug sphere that runs around the spline. I call it tracer, and it follows path, a PathTracer. So I should probably separate those two. And the upside with that is that I should be able to create more than one spline. Save those in a list or an array. Right. Because one of the big issues I foresee happening in the future, once the level becomes big enough or larger, a lot larger than what it is right now, the time it takes for the eye to get to the player once the player has been targeted increases, right? Makes sense. Further distance, further time. I could probably tell it to dynamically increase the speed, but would that make sense then once you are being hunted? Shouldn't the eye have the option to like keep going at that pace? Makes no sense. At least I think it doesn't make sense. But if I could have splines in sections, I can then tell the eye to move to specific sections when the player crosses a certain threshold point, right? So let's say there's, Can I kind of get this to work? Couldn't just. I need layers. I want this. There we go. I want that. Can I get this to work? I don't understand. Is my head just not working today? I mean, that works, I guess. Let's go with that for now. I'll probably have to sit afterwards, and I think that I need this to work. So, the main idea, let's say I have a large level, and the distance, like I'll divide them like this. Example, I'll call this one A, wow, A. This will be B, and this will be C. Each one of these are big enough for that the time for the eye to travel across is way too long. I'd probably like take 20 seconds more. That's enough time for the player to just run away. Unless, of course, I create a logic where the timer, I have a timer for that keeps track of how long the player is being considered a target. And once that target reaches a certain threshold point, then the player no longer is the target. It's like considered hidden or escaped. Alright. Either way, I want to spline on each one of these, so once the player crosses this line, the eye automatically goes into this section. That will keep it near the player at all times, but not so close that it's just on top of it, or them. So instead of the eye being down here at some point, and the player, let's say, all the way up here, the eye will always be in the same section. I think that makes sense. And I'm going to try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll just try something else. That's game development, right? For now, though, let's focus on getting this spline into a separate blueprint. Yeah. And the question is, should I do it in editor? Or should I just create a class directly in code? I'm gonna do it. I can always adjust the derived class, the class that the blueprint will derive from later, right? Yeah. Coffee, and then we'll get to work. Oh, there we go. I do like my coffee, really do. How do you like your coffee? Personally, I do tend to have some milk in it, or in this case, some oat milk. Just like the creaminess of it. But black coffee is really good too. Alright, get to it. So, blueprints. What should we call this? Oh. This is new folder. This is a PathTracer spline. And it's a blueprint class. It's definitely an actor. Right. This is a BP PathTracer spline. Is the spline the default route? No. What would it be? It is. No, it could be, right? For now, we can change that later. So let's go with the spline component. For you, there. That. Go to top view. I need these two to be linear for now. What's going on? Oh, there we go. I need you. Let's make you a lot larger, like that. Then I need you to be 500. Do closed. And like that. So we have it in the center of everything. Alright. Anything else? No. There's nothing else. So let's save. Go. Oh, I don't need to save the paint. I still need a class though. So maybe that was pointless. No, it's not pointless. So what I need to do now is to add this to the scene. Let's go to top. Now I'm just gonna. I'm gonna retrace. No, I don't need to do that. I just need to make sure I find this. So at the beginning of play, I liked do right here, can't I? So what I'm doing right now, I need to get the world, get actor, right? No? Isn't it the world? I'm obviously, I haven't done this in a while. So in the world, get what am I missing? So This doesn't exist. There's also the U. Difference. Why can I find it here but not? Alright, that makes no sense to me. Why does that work? It's returning what we wants to object class act class act. Define the first act in the world. Is a slow person used with caution. Do not use every frame. More specific. Find the first actor. So that means it doesn't return. Why if I want multiple? I do that, right? That may be more complicated than I thought. Okay. Okay, so that is my only option. Okay, fair enough. For now, let's do an array. Oh. I assume it has something to do with how I either like declare. Is it initialized or declare? Can't remember. I looked this up yesterday. Let's call it declare for now. It's probably wrong, but let's do that. And how I do this part. I mean, there's something wrong, right? Obviously. Alright. This one grabs actor classes, not my spline classes. Is that correct? Alright, let's assume that's what's happening. What I want to do next is just to see if it works is for. Alright, how do you do this? How do you do this again? That's how I do it. Okay. So for each actor point, which we'll call actor from Spline class, yes. I want you to log temp no actor so on begin play I'll see a list of actors. Right now it should be 1, but I'm gonna add at least 2 more. Let's do that and that. Actually, let's do it this way. Make things a bit easier to tell what's going on. Do I need to do anything else? I guess you can be const. Yeah. No. For now, that's what I need. Do this. So I'm expecting these 3 names to show in my log when I press. Alternatively, could be happening is I actually need to do this. I mean, I could also add a safety thing. Could, I certainly could. Anyway, alright. Now that that is done, what? Game mode not found. Does that make sense? These are old stuff. Okay. Still though. I mean, did I even? I don't think I'm doing this right. I think something's wrong up here. I think instead I want to go a PathTracer splines. What's going on? What's going on? There we go. There we go. All right, so that's a step forward. Next, I assume you're fine. Yes. So now that we can find the actors, right? What I need to do next, I do have this, which is an actor component. I should probably use this somehow. So what I want to do, go to this part and add a PathTracer. What I also need to do real quick is to honestly just do this. That. I assume the point line needs to be there. Just quickly check so that PathTracer. Okay, I don't look for the PathTracer seems. Likely a mistake on my part. At least it used to be, now it's not, because it's no longer relevant. Or in here. Let's see. what I'm doing here. Why do I need to check the player state? Because if it's alright, yeah. What I'm doing is that I'm stopping the tracer from moving around the spline if the player is a target, right? And if it's not safe, which means there's a mechanic where the player can be safe from the gaze of the eye. Makes sense. If otherwise, it will just continue along the spline. But it also says I'm after the character. I don't see why I need a character. Because I need that. But then again, instead of doing all of these things, I can instead right? Is this how I've done it before? It gathers the data from a character, which in turn means I can do this. But do I need to? Yes, I need. No, right? Yes, I do. I need to store. Then again, could just create a function, right? Which called like get player state, and skip this entire part. No, I'll keep it as is. Because I like the idea of having this around. I could add it to the get players thing, but this works. This works. At least I'm going to actually use it. There we go. Spline progress. Don't need that part. Let's do that. I need one day to find a better option than this. Don't like it. I don't like this. I mentioned this before. I think I mentioned it yesterday. It's easy to tell what speed the eye is moving in. It's moving like, I think right now, 1.2 or 120 units per second. This number, 0.05, tells me nothing. How can I adjust these two like objects to work together? Because at some point I want the spline, the eye, to follow this tracer, right? But right now it just doesn't. I mean, I can kind of do it, but it's one of these try numbers, see if it works, try another number, see if it works, and so on, instead of just saying, hey, both you are on this number. So I need to look into that at some point. I'm actually going to move down. Revise. Tracer, speed, logic. Y. Match. Should we call it units? Yeah, let's go. Units of the I. Speed and movements. I think that's all from this part. It's done. On begin pay, find trace location, initialize trace init. Which does what? Gets the owner. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, this is the one. Trace location equals Spline, get location as Spline.0. Yeah, so it finds a 0 point. Which also I could expose this because right now the eye moves like further away. It's not the end of the world. I've felt though that at some point I would like the idea to adjust where the spine or the eye starts at. Right now the 0 point is further away than, for example, I think it's like the second index point. So the eye starts moving way further, far away, and then turns around when the tracer kind of keeps up. So no, don't like it. Well, leave it. We also can do that. Next, we can do that. You're complaining because member spline component isn't initialized. Do I need to initialize? Wait. Am I at some point actually doing anything with this one? Other than this part? What happens? Can I do this instead? And then that? Therefore I should be able to do that. No. Well, on tick. Yeah. Now we're back to this part. Now this is what experience would be helpful, right? My train of thought is I'll leave it as is, ignore the warning that spline component has been initialized. That was the error, right? Are not initialized in this constructor. That's a warning. Warnings are fine for the most of the time. Not ideal, of course. I think I should be fine. I mean, it hasn't crashed on me yet, and I've been on this for like a few weeks now, a few months actually. So I think I'll just ignore it. This one I need, because other components or other actors are referencing this thing. Need that. That's fine. Trace speed is this times that. And the function, which is, so we're working with this one. Okay, so given a time from 0 to spline duration, return a point in space where this puts you. But why should I assume the spline duration is 1? Is it just how it works? Like somehow they've normalized the duration to be between 0 and 1, no matter how big the spline is? There's an option I could do. I'm not going to do it right now, I think, and that's for later, but what I could do is go through each point, like start with 0, go to 1, add a speed, similar to how I've done the calculations for the speed of the eye, which is distance divided by time, right? Or not really, but that's the final result is that I get units per second. I assume I could do something similar here. The part where I'm slightly worried about is what happens once I get to the last one. I mean, I could probably tell it to repeat again. I say, hey, once you get here, the whatever keeps tracks of the number of loops resets. But for now it works. It's doing what it should do. And it feels like I'm just nitpicking. But yeah, that's for future me, I think. Future Pete. I'm lost. Where am I? Right, tracer component should keep track of to be part of this. We're going to clean up a bit. Nothing in it. All right. Okay, back to where I was at. I have a PathTracer spline that it's compressed of this component. It does have this component. And it looks, oh wait, I need to look for it on owner, right? Find by class, yes. Okay, so it is doing that. And this is going to be unique for each. And it is a pointer. Have I done? I have. So let's go back to Unreal. Turn you off. You off. So I am expecting these to have the PathTracer on them. So let's do that. Oh, I crashed. Of course it did. Why? Oh, of course. Now I have multiple. Now I have multiple. Line 144. You're complaining because there are multiple trace locations to get. And you cost get component. I don't have a tracer component now. Right. Which means this section is deprecated. This tells me that 151. Guess it don't have target location. Therefore also 85. What's 85 complaining about? Yeah, and you also need. So if I go to you, I can tell that I need target location. No. Well, yes, at the same time. Okay, so let's see. You're no longer going to look for you no longer need PathTracer component. Where are you? Right, so get gaze target location. If player is the card, then do this. If it isn't, get no. This can no longer be get PathTracer component. This needs to be get tracer target location instead. Location. Right, it's gonna be an error. I'm fine with that just to make sure I remember this part. But what I need to do on begin play. Here we go. So for now, what I'm going to do is going to just tell it to, hey, use the first trace you can find. And it's telling me it creates this. I'm probably going to make that into a public or private variable. Find all actors of this class. Is that how it works? Either way, I am finding it. Then convert it into this. And for each spline, do this. But what I'm going to do is need something like a structor enum for this. Oh my god, dang it. Just keep that for now. I just need something to. Okay, so for spline. No. Instead of doing that, what should I do? I should. Am I overcomplicating this? Probably am. I do that. I need this on tick to keep track of the target location. Okay, first of all, I need to store all of these in a struct, I think. Let's see what I can find. But there's also options for using the TMap variable, right? Now I don't need a struct. I mean, I could be completely off. All right. The TMap allows me to use index or keys. And I do want to fix this before anything else.
How to use layers in the new Microsoft Paint. That's
I paused through it in it. Told me nothing. Annoyingly enough. I need to... I have that. I have that. Can you be gone? What are you? Background. Oh, it's... This is how it works. I do not understand this. I really don't understand this part. What am I missing? Like, seriously. You to be that? And this? You're turning black. Can you not turn black? Why isn't it allowing me to pick a color? Oh. Oh, wait. Force. That makes sense, actually. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is have a team which has like all of these, right? And in turn, these should store what? These needs to be each spline, each PT spline. And this needs to be available for me, like through the entire thing, like the entire class. A public variable that the Emperor Gaze can then look at and pick out target location. What I'm doing right here is that I'm grabbing all actors at the beginning, going through each one of them, causing them to the correct type, and then I'm doing nothing with them. Because alternatively, I could create an array that stores the target location. But I don't like that because I might want to. I'm going for a TMap, okay. And I need to do that in the Emperor Gaze. Because if I don't do that, there's just going to be one spline per component. So I want to do private do. Let's go with that for now. String, no. Int. And you're going to have to be a PathTracer spline component. That was an include, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. PathTracer spline. No. Back. All right. And now begin play. Feels like I'm missing something. Could be that I need to create a T-array that contains. Can I do that even? Can I even create an array that contains those things? That contains a TMap, like an array of TMaps. Can I do that? Also, let's do that. Excuse me. So now I can see it in the editor. Just make things easier for me to kind of keep track of if I'm doing things right. Okay, it's my personal preference, and I have an array of spline actors. I mean, I could call it an array, I guess. Would that make things easier for me? It would, I guess. And of course, that's going to create issues here. So this is just me getting and storing the actors of class A path. It's just Spline. Is that correct? I don't know, but it works for now. And I could use this type of for loop, or I can use a regular one, which is probably easy to do rather than just adding an int at the top here and iterating over it. Let's go with that, which means I need to do for and 0i path num, yes, right? I want to grab the first the index. And all right, what I need to do, which is path array I. Why are you complaining? Could we move into that? It could be done. this way instead. Don't need you anymore. Is that even a smart thing to do? It's not. And if this one is not null, what? Well, if it's containing data, I want to add it, right, to my map, which is this thing. It's going to crash. So for now, nice return. I mean, there's a high chance I'll missed something and it's going to crash on me. But now I'm just interested in how I gather the data. How I gather the data. Which should mean if I go to this section, I have nothing. What if I do this? Will it crash? It will crash. Okay, fair enough. 202. Hello. That's gonna be an error. Should I just add a tracer component for now? Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's see what happens. Just want to make progress. Crash. It will crash. Oh, thank God. Why? Why are you crashing now? 18. Why 18? It's not even close. Or 39. You're returning. Because some tells me that it's not going to work. Just for a second. Nope. Same issue. 202 in this time. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this instead. I'm just gonna kill everything that's related to there's the issues. Really playing fire, aren't they? It's gonna be an issue. I mean, okay, so far. So all I want is to see if I can just get the TMap to work. That's my main concern right now. Well, that and don't want Unreal to crash on me each time I tie. So far so good, and thank you. Okay, we're going somewhere. And I want to go to the case. I see I have 3. They are both, or they are, the variable is storing 3 of them. I can select it, that's cool. Alright, and also do they have the traces going? Okay, that's perfect, that's really awesome. Because now I can work with this. Because I can tell it to, hey, look at this first one and go with that. So back to you. And where does the issue start? It starts at the gaze transform because I want to go to the right. I want to go to this one. Therefore, I need you to be turned off. I need you to be at 0. Or actually, it doesn't really matter where you are. I'll actually add you to this spot. Need you to be up there. Oh, for the love of something like that. So now I have you moving around in circles. Save. So in this transform. So rather than actually, I need to go to. No, I'm actually not going to do that. I am actually going to do them. I don't have one. I don't. What do you create a function? Hey. I need to get this get PathTracer components. I need this to be no. I already had that, right? Because I'm doing it. I'm doing it somewhere. Come on. Right here. So I have this. This contains all my TMaps. And I can then tell it to, on initialization, which is right here. Let's go for path. God, sorry. No. If trace location equals path No, that's not how it works. Ah, shit. How did I get that from these things? Am I not storing them? I'm storing the wrong. information, aren't I? Because what I need... So this is the owner of the component, and I need to find component by class, which is the PathTracer new path component, right? Why? There we go. There we go. I'm making some progress. Be inside, yeah, I know. Just this, and I want you to grab that. Trace location, new location, get saved, right, blah. All right. Progress, and I want you to be part of this, right? Okay. Instead of this, I want that instead of this. Oh, sorry, this instead of that. Which means I should. There's still some issues going. For example, this part. Actually, now that I think about it, this part should probably... Would be a lot easier, I assume, to just create a... Yeah. It definitely would be easier to just make this a global... I have my getters here. this. Let's do. Will be a U path trace component. Let's just do. Actually, let's keep you in the same area. And in this getter, we don't want this. Want this. I mean, I'm going to have to fix this in the future. I mean, right? This is not going to work, like in the long run. I assume that it's going to be an issue in the future. But for now, what I can do is remove you, get path trace component, if this is true. Let me check. So I'm really doing something convoluted right now, because in the future, assuming I'll accept the idea of using more than one spline, this one will only return one spline. Why are you complaining? It can be cons, of course. Though this section, at least this part, will not work with multiple, I assume. That's at least my initial thoughts. So for now, what I hope to see is that this will just get me back to where I was, which is find, go to top. I don't need you or you. You're complaining. Why? Cannot convert because you're const, which means if this is gonna work either. So for now, are you doing? He is player target. You need. So all I really want is for this to kind of go back to where I was, but at the same time accept that there's multiple splines in the world. Not sure if it is going to work, so we're just gonna have to wing it. Okay. While this is compiling, I'm quickly going to go for a quick break. I'll be right back. All right. We're looking at Unreal, which launched. And all these are in there. There we go. And it's crashing. All right. Awesome. Something wrong. Wait about that. Why? I assume this is the issue. I mean, I do have an else, which is apparently irrelevant. How about this then? for int I equals 0, where I is less than 1. I don't need 10, I need 1. Do this. Which is component base component equal too many, which is equal that, and if that is in the null pointer, return pop. Let's go. You don't like that, all right? And why is that? Because it's not. Okay, screw this then. There we go. How about this then? I can't return it. Can I convert? Makes sense. And you can be gone. I just want not to crash. That's what I'm going for. You're complaining about something. Oh crap. Start being silent. It's not getting this. No, minute. God dang it. That's the thing, right? Alright. Imagine watching this later on. Like, holy shit, he's an idiot. Yep. That's kind of it. That's... What can you do? I'm getting no errors on real launches, hopefully. Who knows? And hey, we're launching. I can tell we have all of these. I can play. And moving, although the speed is absolutely insane. It is moving, and out here, hey, I'm gonna accept this as a win. Actually, it is. So what I need to do in the future, though, again, assuming I'm going with multiple splines. If I am, I need to update whatever I've done to adjust for like some type of check saying, hey, which section are you in? Well, I'm in this section. Well, if you are, you need to use this target location. If you're in another section, you need to use this target location. Right now, I only need one target. But the option to add more targets is there now. Good or bad. Probably made my code less readable, more convoluted. But I'm learning. That's a big part. And I can tell you right now, it looks weird because one of the things that's happening right now is that the speed of the trace is way too high. I probably need to put it down to like 0.02. Where are you? Let's see, tracer, spline. Can I do, is it tracer? No, it is on PathTracer. There we go. And that needs to be 0.02. There we go. The green debug spheres for the gaze impact rotation. Yes, that's where the impact of a line trace is. The impact point, I should say. And it's off because I'm using an interpolation to set the rotation of the eye. And it kind of lags behind slightly. I probably could adjust it. Let me give it a bit more speed. Rotation speed, for example, is 0.3. So let's just try 0.5. See if it's... That was the wrong button. There you go. And the lags behind. Short while. And holy shit, that is really slow. And it's gonna lag behind again. Yeah. It's not that important. What happens if I do this? Will I still be able to play? Yes, and if I do this, this. Nope, that's the wrong one. I wanted F11. I. Serious issues here. There we go. Kind of fond of what I'm looking at right now. Perhaps you should kill the rotation completely, because I do like the idea of it's feeling alive, but it is a mechanical thing. So yes, rotation could be there, but at the same time I want this stiff movement, so probably will remove rotation at some point. At least test it out. And let's see what happens if I do this. You start blinking faster. And let's just do. There we go. That means that you are now after me. Here we go. And if I start running. Oh, I'm not stuck. But I think I'm way too slow compared to the eye. And you can tell that's happening because I'm losing sanity, the blue meter. That's my sanity. Right now it's high as hell because I don't want to die while playtesting. Same with the light or the I'm limited. I can do this. And my lantern oil, which is the yellow bar, doesn't go down. But sanity keeps going down. And I'm going to do this and end the game. Game over. And we restart. So I have something. Alright. And you can see here, it's telling me, hey, your sanity is going down. Not sure how to fix these. Wait, do I have an old version of Unreal? Looks like it, I do. Wait to change it now though. So I'm probably just gonna accept this. I'm not even sure I'm going to use these assets. These are Megascans assets. I mean, for the first, like, probably, maybe not beta, but a later alpha stage version. Yeah. I'll probably use Megascan stuff. And with this, what I've done is I have refactored the PathTracer spline. The functionality to be removed from the image class, create a new class to handle by. Yes, that's what I've done. I do feel though that I'm overcomplicating the PathTracer by having an actor component to keep track of things. I could probably just add the trace logic in the actor blueprints rather than the component. Then again, is it necessary? Like, we can look at it. There's nothing here. Other than, oh yeah, this is what it needs to do. It needs to hold the spline. That's what I should do. So I'm not really done with this yet. I need to, in private, create a Spline. For declaration. There you go. And I would love it if someone can tell me if I need to be worried about this. I mean, I understand that garbage collection to kind of take away stuff from you. Like cleaning up memory is a good thing. Like garbage is a good thing. I don't know if I need to add your property macro tag to it. That seems to take away at least the warning or the message. But is it necessary? Because I don't like having it there. It clutters my code, or the way I see the code at least. I've never seen it being done by a tutorial, so I assume I should be fine. But Rider keeps giving me this error or this message warning. So I guess there's something to it. There should be. I mean, why would you give me an error otherwise, right? Again, warning. Keep saying error, I mean warning. Anyway, I need to spline component, create default, use static component. Why are you doing that? Oh, you spline component. There we go. And this one needs should I go all the way and just create full points straight away? Not really necessary, is it? Attach? No, setup, right? Setup tab, get component. Yeah, let's go with that. And what else? Do I want it to be by default set to spline? Oh, sorry, linear. No, I'll leave it that to, well, the artist myself. Closed. No. I think that is it. But I do want it to give me a message saying if find component by class if this returns a null pointer, I want you to give me a log message saying this is not a warning, this is an error saying which is pretty good. It's unnecessary, but I'll leave it. Yeah, anyway. So I'll safeguard myself. Should it be null? Okay. Let's do it. Alright, there you go. Nothing on tick right now. I should likely turn that off. in the blueprint, right? Like the something with the tick related stuff. Will likely say me. I need that. I seems to need to do that, and it seems. Yeah. And with that, I need to turn you off. Save. Back. Close. Recompile. Start to get hungry too. Need to eat food. I'm ending it soon. Like 30 minutes. No, I need to do this. My head. I've already lost it. Trace spline. Viewport. Let's go with this. Did I make that the root? Yes. And that's fine. And I need to make you visible, editable. New property, edit anywhere. Category, spline. No. Nope. Let's just go with that. And save all of these, compile, yes, all of that. Yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep it. And go to Unreal again. And I need to open you up. Which is it? Yeah. So that one is. And I want to J. Select all of you, make you linear. Then, okay, so now I have an option. I could start you at the center and no, how will that work? You're not gonna, no, let's not do that. I'm just gonna move you over there. I don't like it when it does this. 500. Side, close loop, go, delete, compile, and well, all right. This is the one I mentioned earlier. I can do a tick thing. Hey, that's good. But I don't think I need it. So I'm going to turn you off. I have no idea if I need that. So I'm just gonna, I mean, can be damaged. No, I don't need that. Let's leave it at this. Might be a mistake. Might not. Maybe it's happening. Did it not start? Because that's the, I wanted to start at that point. Did I not do that? This one. PathTracer component. Didn't it start? Why am I doing that? Why am I doing this? This makes no sense, does it? What I want is let's just do this. I think what I want, no, is this. Anything else just doesn't make sense. Because I've done it down here. Why on earth did I do that? Yeah, he's not even. Why? Yeah, look, it's starting from 0. That's not what you're supposed to do. It could potentially. There's potential that I am actually doing all of that before. Yes, I'm doing it all before I'm even doing this part. What I want to do is to take you down here. So now I'm grabbing all of these, like as I'm setting that. That makes sense. I say with as much confidence that I possibly can, which doesn't. It isn't a lot, is it? All right, there we go, and it's not working. Oh god, dang it. Why not? Why not? It's just I'm grabbing that. It is telling me I am. This message is popping up. Right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I? No, I am grabbing the trace location. So I have this. Then I enter this, which said, "Hey, do you have this?" Yes. And it should be this trace location. And I want you to set that as new location on the iMesh. and the beam axis and the y-axis. Ah. Right. No. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this is because the eye has an offset. It works, I think, as long as I am in the center of the world. It's going to be an issue later on. Likely. And I will do also what? Is this 0? Is not even accepting it? Wait, what? Not finding it or what? Saying trace location is 0. That might be true. Because I might not be getting the world position of the trace location. Level 0. Okay, so what are my options? I'm gonna keep you for now. Let's go up here to the beginning. User location. Alright, so my options are then either there's no information, which there should be. So I have this. Alternatively, I am not grabbing the correct space. What am I doing? Time. Does that mean? I wonder. The trace location at time. Can I convert this somehow? But why is it working afterwards? I mean, it is working at this stage. All right. My time. So I do want this to work, so I'm gonna go over a bit. Now. What? Fair enough, I guess. All I want to know is why. My assumption is that since I'm going for location at time, the location really 0? It shouldn't. It gives me world coordinate space. I'm stunned. I don't really know where I'm going from here. But it does say it's 0, but at the same time, when the eye starts to move, it's no longer at 0. Does that make sense? I could use that instead. I can just tell it to, hey, instead of focusing on where you are in time, just grab the position of the first index point, or the first spline point, and just move there. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But do I have the code for it? So, first of all, no, let's leave it. PathTracer component. Yes, well, that's the component, not the spline itself. That's spline actors. But I still needed that. So what I'm going to do is say this, which is I need to convert that. Do I need to cost it first? Wait, why? What? I don't know. Alright, it's working. Alright, so now that I have that, what was it I wanted to do? I wanted to get the... So I wanted to use the spline. What? Get spline point. No. Location at spline point. I'm feeling like I'm doing a lot of convoluted stuff right now. And I need you. Don't need you. I need it to be like that. I need it to be this. And I need... Is that enough? Yes. Oh, right, because I'm doing that. That makes more sense. Why am I not doing that? There we go. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna wing it. Let's go. I don't have much time left today. Can't really push this much further than this. So what I want to see is for it to start. Here we go. And then need to quickly, well, decently fast at least, do that. That. Could likely move this into some kind of getter, but it works. And I can do this. And therefore also do that. It is working. Of course I could tell. Quick playthrough. Okay, so you're still throwing stuff at me. That is because a XY linear motion mechanic. Because it doesn't make sense right now. I think it could be things like adding small components to make the sun. In any way, I'm not going to try and explain because I don't really know what's potentially wrong with it. What I do know is that I need to look at references and probably some YouTube video just to see if what I'm making makes sense. Yes, I need to revise the logic for the speed of the tracer, because right now, like I mentioned earlier, the tracer speed is set to 0.02 units. The character and the eye uses meters per second. The other one unit, I have no idea. Could be meters, it could potentially be meters per second, or it's a like so the length of the spline is normalized. Let's say the length of the spline is normalized between 0 and 1. When I reach 1, I'm at the end and I start over at 0. So my assumption right now is that 0.05 is that for each, I don't know if it's a second or if it's a frame, I add that to the counter and it moves. I don't add it to a counter, but it moves that per frame. So on frame 1, it's 0.05. At frame 2, it's 0.1. That's too fast. No, my assumption is wrong. I want to fix it either way. And I need to move that. So another thing I want to do is to add the race mechanic to the best level. And I'll get into that mechanic at some other point. Right now I need to kind of move along. What else should I be doing? I should play test it, like the sanity, like loss and things like that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll think of more stuff to do on the side. All right. I'm gonna end it here. And as always, if you see this in the future, like an offline, non-live thing, a VOD, that's what it's called. Thank you for getting this far. I hope to see you in an actual live stream. But I'm appreciative for any type of exposure, any type of, if you watch anything that I've done, I'm really appreciative of that. And I'm not going to drag this on for long. I'm going to end it. So hopefully I'll see whoever watches this at some point in the future. And I wish you all the best of days. Best of days. Have a good day. I'll see you all around.